Hashtag rise and grind. The reason that we start to lose our imagination as we get a little bit older really falls down into three categories. You see, as we get older, we tend to get more and more uncertainty. We're asking ourselves questions all the time, like, what will people think? And over time, that uncertainty absolutely smashes, squishes, covers up, lays on top of our imagination. Well, I think about my children, and I think about how they don't have that uncertainty. They don't. They're not concerned. They will ask, even though you're going to tell them no. They will ask 100 times. Like, there's no uncertainty. Whatever they think just comes out of their mouth. It's incredible. They are free of the judgment. And it breaks my heart to know that that's going to come later, because when you live in this place of imagination where you just imagine your best life, you just imagine stepping into what you love every minute of every day. If you can continue to hold on to that and not let the rest of the world knock the uncertainty into you, it is the key to extracting your greatness. So that's the first thing, is uncertainty squashes our imagination over time as time goes on. The second thing that squashes our imagination, that lays on top of it, that dwindles it, that slowly puts out that imagination fire as we get older, the second thing is a busy, hectic life. You see, you have to find and take and require yourself to experience the time necessary to actually use your imagination. When can you use your imagination if you're responding to alarms, notifications, emails, other people's needs, desires? When you're in the middle of the rat race, when you're running around, when do you actually have time? That's why the morning 5 is so crucially important. That's why having a daily reset first thing in the morning, where you spend time in gratitude and goals with no distractions, no snooze buttons, working on your body, taking care of yourself, that time that allows your mind to expand. It allows it to continue to grow, for your imagination to run wild of all the things that possibly could be, all of the things that you could do with your life that will make an impact not just on you, but on those around you. You see, we are required, if you want to keep it, you must use it or you will lose it. And the third thing that squashes our imagination over time, the third thing is laziness or acquired habits. Not getting up and doing the things that we know we should do to better our lives. Not being willing to commit and to put in the work. Old habits that slow us down. Habits of spending hours and hours watching shows on Netflix. Habits of staying up later than we should, or not getting up as early as we should. Habits of drinking or drugging or anything else to try to take our mind to a different place. All of these acquired habits and the laziness associated with them squashes your imagination. Squashes your ability to dream and to dream big. It covers it up. It lays on top of it. Over time, it ultimately puts out the fire. The fire that was originally in you when you were a kid. The uninhibited imagination where you imagined the absolute best life that you could possibly live. And so my daughter Willow, she's one of our best examples in our house. Is my daughter Willow. She always tells us every single day, she says, at some point, she says, when I get older, I'm going to be able to do whatever I want to do. Like if I want, I'll go get ice cream at bedtime. That's what she tells us all the time. And my mind immediately jumps to, you have no idea what it's going to be like when you're older, right? You have no idea how little freedom you're actually going to have as an adult. You have no idea how the restrictions are going to pull you in many different directions, the needs of other people in your lives, the financial stresses and anxieties and worries that can come with life, all of these things. Honey, Willow, I love you, dear, but you have no idea how little freedom you'll have as an adult. That's where my mind immediately goes. Of course, I don't say that to her, but that's where my mind immediately goes. But why do we do that? You see, these last few months, we've had to use our imagination as a collective society, as human beings, in the midst of COVID, in the midst of all the different things that are going on in the world. We've had to use our imagination in ways we haven't done in a really long time. And by using our imagination, we've innovated, right? We've pivoted in so many different ways, right? We've battled and adjusted through different programs and laws and mandates and so on and so forth. And you've had to get creative. You used your imagination, and in using your imagination in a way you haven't in a really long time, in using your imagination in the last 4 months, your world has become a better place. I was on with Patrick Bet-David last night. He said his company used to be 90% in person, 10% online. Last month they were 90% online, 10% in person, and they had a record month, the biggest month they've ever had in the history of their business. And I hear these stories going on all over. Innovation, new creativity, people using their imagination that never had before. We were just busy and hectic, and we were uncertain, right? We were uncertain. We were busy. We were lazy and had acquired old habits. And now we've been forced to use our imagination to break out of that. And what a wonderful thing that has been. Not the overall experience, but you know what I mean. Us using our imagination to create something new has been incredible.
Hashtag rise and grind. Hashtag rise and grind. First thing on my mind.